What's up everyone, it's Claudio here, and today is a special day. It's the day of my first road race ever. I've raced a couple of duathlons last year, like a run, bike, run kind of thing, but they were non-drafting races. This will be the first draft legal full-on road race that I've ever done. It's going to be at the Floyd Bennett field here in New York. I believe it's a circuit race. It's the 2.3 mile loop and 5 laps, I think. It all should be around 30 minutes long. So obviously I'll be in the category 5 heat. For those of you who don't know about races and categories, category 5 is the beginner and it goes all the way up to category 1, which is the pro. It's the fastest. But if you're starting out, you start in category 5, and if you place high enough, you get points, and the more points you gain, the more you can move up in the categories. So a little bit of a background about me. I started cycling 10 months ago, and I quickly realized that I wanted to get into triathlons. So I got a coach a few months later, and I've been training for the New York City Triathlon, which is a couple months away. It's an Olympic distance triathlon. I'm super excited about that. So I have this speed machine right here, and I told myself, man, I have to race this thing. It's designed to race, designed to go fast. I have to get out there and at least give it a shot. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm not really sure what to expect from this category 5 heat, if they're gonna be really fast, if they're not gonna be fast, if it's gonna be kind of dangerous because everybody's a beginner. My goal is to just try to stay with the pack as long as possible and not get dropped. Maybe it'll be easy, maybe it won't be easy. I'm going into this race with an FTP of 225, so again, I don't have no idea if that's gonna be enough or barely enough or not even close. For those of you who don't know what FTP means, FTP is functional threshold power. It's measured in watts, and it tells you theoretically what you can do in 1 hour, how much power you can put into the pedals in an hour. It's kind of just for the cycling nerds, so don't worry about it too much. So again, I don't know if there's going to be breakaways and how many attacks there are going to be, if I'm going to be able to cover any attacks, or if I'm just going to be holding on for my dear life. I have no clue. Other than that, just want to have a safe ride. It doesn't look like a very technical course. The only thing from looking at the videos is that it's a very rough surface. It's asphalt, but it has a ton of cracks and potholes, and it kind of makes me nervous. So those are my expectations going into this race. I just want to have a good time. It's a beautiful day out there, and just enjoy this first race experience. All right, let's do this. Okay, so I almost missed the start of this race. I was out warming up and I had to sprint all the way back like 400 meters to catch the start of this race. And as you can see right now, my heart rate is already at 150. Another thing, it took me a couple seconds to clip in. I don't know what's going on. My left pedal is a little lopsided. It always takes me a second. So here you see already there's a gap, but I am not too worried about it. It's the start of the race. Whatever, they're not going so fast. So I ease up on the back of that group. As you can see also, these cracks everywhere, small potholes. So I'm kind of worried about that. I'm keeping an eye on it. This guy in front of me in the black and red, I think he actually got like top 3, so he was really strong. I was trying to hang on there on the back of his wheel. So we're going down this straightaway here. Again, I'm just getting used to this rough terrain. It's my first time out here. I only got 1 lap of warm-up. I kind of got a feel for it, but not really. It made me kind of nervous, all these rough spots. So as you can see, I'm kind of off to the side a little bit. I'm not directly behind this guy's wheel because I kind of want to see the bumps coming. So that's what I'm doing there. Again, a lot of rough spots. So that's the first turn, and things are going okay. I think at this point my heart rate is starting to recover, and I'm starting to coast there. Not too much pedaling. So at this point I am feeling pretty good. My legs feel good. I'm starting to think that I can actually do 5 laps of this, no problem. I even in my mind kind of get
a little confident and think maybe I should just move up to the middle of the pack. And it totally would have saved me, at least for that first lap. It would have been the perfect time to do it. Everybody was just holding their line, no aggressive moves. It would have definitely been the smart thing to do. So we're going down the straightaway, still kind of coasting, not too much power. Again, just it's pretty rough out there. Let's see. You're coming up on the first or the second turn here, and this is where everything goes south. It's pretty rough. There's cones there, potholes, and all of a sudden I blink and boom, they are off. Gap forms in front of me. This guy in the orange, he totally sees that move and bridges up to it. I don't, and then I start to put some power down. I'm not super nervous yet, but there I am, putting in some big efforts. Not that big, actually. The photographer, I'm kind of embarrassed, and there I am. I'm really starting to put in another effort to try to catch him. I'm out of the saddle. My max heart rate is 181, and there I hit 180. I'm maxed out. And that's the end of the race for me, basically. I mean, that's when I get dropped. At this point, I actually don't think it's the end of the race. I think I could catch them, but I never did. 181 heart rate. I am really hurting here. I mean, I can't sustain too much power at max heart rate for too long. I have to keep coming down to 200, and then I try to make my way back up to some efforts above 300 watts. Again, I can't really sustain more than 350 for more than what it looks like here, more than like 10-15 seconds, especially not at max heart rate. There I am, putting in some efforts out of the saddle. 180 heart rate. I mean, I am breathing hard. I am hurting. My lungs are burning. I still think I can kind of catch them. I mean, it's really not that big of a gap. But again, I'm at max heart rate. I am really in some pain. And here is the final straightaway of the first lap. At this point, I'm thinking it's kind of embarrassing to get dropped on the first lap. So everybody that's waiting for the Cat 3s, 2s, and 1s are going to see me, and they're going to be like, oh, poor guy, he got dropped. There's no way he's going to catch him. So I'm really trying to make another effort here to try to get, you know, at least look like I'm putting in some effort. And there the guys see me like, man, what are you doing? Game over. There's no way back. And that's it. I mean, I go for another lap, sort of, kind of, putting in some watts, but there's just no way that I'm gonna catch them. And some people say, well, why don't you just finish out the race, you know? Why did you have to drop out? So it's not the kind of race, it's not like an endurance race where you're racing against time. You really, in these kind of road races, you're racing to race with people and to place. So if you get dropped this far back, I mean, there's just no point. First of all, it's pretty demoralizing and not fun at all to be like riding alone way back in the distance. So there's that. And also, sometimes the officials will even pull you out of the race because if you're about to get lapped by the group leaders, it's actually kind of dangerous. You might cause a wreck. So they didn't pull me out, but I went for another lap here, and I dropped out because there was just no point. And that's it. That's my first race. Goodbye. See you next time.
Holy crap, I got dropped on the first lap, guys. They were so fast and I was at the back of the pack hanging on, and it's like I blinked and they took off down a straightaway and I just could not catch up to them. I couldn't grab onto somebody's wheel to get that draft, and they were just off. The gap kept getting bigger and bigger, and I mean, I got dropped halfway through the first lap, and I ended up doing 2 laps trying to catch them, and it didn't happen. So that was my first race experience. Wow. I don't know, I think maybe I could have held on for 2 laps, but if you don't grab on to that wheel in front of you and hang on, it's so hard to get back onto the peloton. I mean, I was way beyond my threshold power. I was pretty close to max heart rate for like half a lap, and I just couldn't do it. So there you go, first race experience. Kind of a fail, but not really so unexpected and surprising, because it is pretty hard out there. So maybe next time I'll survive 2 laps, and then maybe 3 laps, and then maybe 4, and then maybe I'll be able to finish the whole race. Who knows? So that's it. I'm signing out. Until next time. See ya.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching. I posted this video to show that it's okay to fail when trying new things. It took a lot of guts for me to get out there for the first time, but it was totally worth it, and I can't wait to try it again. I mean, things can only get better from here, right? Feel free to comment if you've had a similar experience, and let me know if this was helpful. And of course, subscribe for more videos like this. Later.